Hey folks, so this is the L60, a robot vacuum from Eufy, and we've been using this for a little while now. They did send it to us for the purposes of review, but I've got to say we have been impressed. We've been running this through our home, and my wife especially absolutely loves it. She's been using it all the time. So despite being a more budget model, the L60 does sport up to 5,000 PA of suctions. This is quite a lot of suction. It does utilise Eufy's iPath laser, which actually makes mapping rooms so quick. That is something I was not expecting with this model, but once you put it into mapping mode for the first time in order to actually map the room, it does so, at least in our experience, in just a minute or two. So it doesn't have to scan the entire room. It has this wide beam laser in order to do the work for it. The Boost IQ will allow the L60 to automatically adjust the suction power up to that maximum PA of 5,000, and it will do this based on the type of floor that it detects as being cleaned. But you can also adjust the suction pressure within the app itself up to the maximum mode of 5,000, but of course this will use your battery life a little bit faster. However, it is worth noting that the docking station is really helpful, and the L60 will return automatically as it is running low on juice in order to charge up, and then it will hop off on its own again in order to continue the clean. So this model is definitely suitable for both carpets and hard floors. We use it on both of those types. In fact, our kitchen has a very hard stone and very rustic floor. Okay, it's completely unleveled, and I've got to say the Eufy has impressed us here very much, because it is able to clean that kitchen floor despite the fact it's having to lift itself up onto various stone tiles that are higher than others. But as I say, it does handle it no problems. Now, what's also wonderful is that the app gives us a lot of functionality. First off, we can set the quick mapping. Okay, you'll want to do this once you've actually first got the L60 set up. Okay, and this will allow you then to automatically get your rooms planned. It will do the job for you. You can just name your rooms. If you have big open spaces, you can split that up into different rooms as well. If you have multi-floor homes, then that's absolutely fine also, because you can set up multiple maps here. So you could have maps for downstairs, maps for upstairs. And once everything is mapped, it is all saved. Okay, if you have areas where you do not want the vacuum to go, then you can easily add no-go zones. We've done this for various obstacles that it tries to get over but struggles to manage, so it doesn't actually do that now with those no-go zones. And the other thing I love about the app here is that it is easy to share any devices you add onto the app with other people in your household. So I set the Eufy up with the app on my phone, but my wife has also downloaded the app, set up her own free account, and I can now share this and have shared this with her, so she has full access to the L60 on her app just as I do on mine. And what's great is that all of the setup that I did, including the mapping and the no-go zones and all of that good stuff, carried across once I shared it, so she doesn't have to reset those things up herself. So I'm very impressed with the software. It does seem to be really powerful, but the hardware itself is also exceeding our expectations. When it comes to cleaning the room, it does so in a very systematic way. First off, it will just make its way around the entire edge, and then it will simply zigzag across the room centre until every area has been cleaned. But because of the mapping within the app, you can easily set it to simply clean a single room if you want, and even if you have a more open plan space, it will stay within the room as the boundaries for that room have been set. Or you can even set it to clean multiple rooms but not certain rooms, and it will simply skip over the rooms that you haven't asked it to clean, or it can simply clean your entire plan that's been mapped out. You have all of that functionality at your fingertips, and it does work exceptionally well. So being a more budget model vacuum, it does have these premium features. However, it does not have a self-emptying dustbin. Now, instead, it does actually collect the dust itself, and you will empty that manually, which is really easy to do. I recommend doing so after each clean, or if you're doing quite a deep intensive clean throughout multiple rooms, then you may have to empty it a few times. But like I say, really simple, just 2 buttons on the back here, click those in, that removes the dustbin, and you can empty this then very quickly and then slot it back inside. And it's also in that dustbin that you will find the filter, and you do get a little cleaning brush as well just to wipe that filter out with, so it's a good practice to do that regularly too. But based on our initial tests so far, we've been really happy with the Eufy L60 robot vacuum cleaner. The hardware itself has that very powerful suction, which, to be honest with you, is something we need in our home, especially with 4 kids running around the place and all sorts of stuff gets dropped onto the floor. But also the software. It's so convenient to use the Eufy Clean app, being able to add various rooms and being able to choose various rooms to be cleaned at any time with the click of a button is just such a simple thing for us to do, but it goes a long way to helping us out. Now, in terms of the loudness, the volume of this thing when it is in operation, it is definitely sucking and it's, pulling in air and blowing out air, so of course it is making noise, you can hear it. However, the volume here is much lower, in my opinion, than a traditional vacuum cleaner. Even when it is in the high-powered suction mode, I was quite surprised at just how quiet this thing was in operation. So folks, just a few thoughts there on the Eufy L60. Really happy with it overall. My wife in particular absolutely loves it. She's been tinkering with it every day. But if you're in the market for a more budget robot vacuum cleaner, maybe it's going to be your first one and you're not too sure whether it's going to be something that's right for you, this is a great starting option. But even if you just want to replace a previous robot vacuum cleaner that maybe's worn out a little bit or had its day, then I can definitely recommend the Eufy L60. Fantastic device, and I hope this video helped.